I am delighted to share a few thoughts on the topic, and which is recently trending here in Nagaland regarding about the LGBTQ. As a theological student, I would also like to bring up some few insight from the Bible. What does the Bible address regarding the LGBTQ? Let me begin with the creation account. In the beginning, when God created everything, God created the universe, and He created the earth and everything in it. He created everything, and He also created man. And after He created man, He proposed in His heart that it is not good to be a man to be alone. So He created another female. So God created male and female. That is very clear, which you can see in the Bible passage, especially in Genesis chapter 1 and 2 on the creation account. The Bible is very clear about the creation of male and female. The purpose of creating male and female is for the reproduction and to multiply and replenish all over the earth. Since the initial time, the human population, they are very less, and it is God who wants to multiply the whole universe and to take care of His creation. And because of that, He created male and female, not only to take care, but God also commanded them, be fruitful and replenish the earth. So now here comes the creation of male and female is for the reproduction and to multiply and to replenish all the earth. And when you see in the LGBTQ, it is not a new topic that is to be discussed. We can see this issue in the Bible from the Old Testament, New Testament, where it has been also addressed by the several authors, and also in the Bible we can see. The first thing which we can find is in Genesis chapter 19, where the two angels came to meet the Lord to rescue from Sodom and Gomorrah. The two angels came and abode in the house of Lord. But here comes the people of Sodom and Gomorrah. They were wicked people. So they came and knocked at the door, and they were asking the two men to have a sexual relationship with them. And that is how the Lord replied that He had two daughters, and you can take the two daughters, but lay not hands on the two strangers. That is what the Lord replied. But the people of Sodom and Gomorrah, they are wicked, as we all know. Because of that, they are not only wicked they are wicked in many things, especially in immorality and sexuality. And that is the reason even they wanted to have a sexual relationship with the two angels. And that is how God, those who approach near the door, God caused some destruction, and that fell as a blind, those who approach near the door. And it happens that the next following days, it was burned down, the Sodom and Gomorrah. That is what we can see in Genesis itself. And if you continue with the history of Israel, we can also find that God's purpose to call out Abraham was to bless him, and so that through him the whole nation will come to know the saving knowledge of God. And here again, when God promised the land of Canaan, because the Canaan people, the Canaanites, they are very bad people. They are very sinful people. They live and practice every kind of immorality. And that is the reason God called out to Abraham to set apart from the world. so that through him, through Abraham, the people will come to know about God. And when God called out, after generations, in the time of Moses, when God called the people of Israel out of Egypt, He brought them into the land of Canaan. And after they reached into the Canaan, God gave them the commandments, and which we will find in the book of Leviticus. And specifically, it is also addressed about the LGBTQ practices in Leviticus chapter 18, verse 22, where it says, "A man shall not lie with a man." That is an abomination. That is what the Bible addressed, and which you can find in Leviticus. And also, a man should not lie with a beast or any kind of animal. That is a confusion, and that is an abomination. That is what the Bible has also clearly addressed about the LGBTQ. It is an unholy. And now here comes about sanctification and setting apart and to be holy as a child of God. Here in the Nagaland context, everyone is a Christian. And what is the purpose and what is the meaning of a Christian? A Christian, like in old days, Abraham was called among all the nations to be set apart and to live as a holy and acceptable life, so that people will come to know about God. Now, to a Christian like here in Nagaland, how do we address this issue? We are a Christian state. That is what all over India knows about Christian states, about Nagaland. And here, how do we tackle and how do we understand? And should we include or should we address inclusiveness about LGBTQ in our society? To some points in a humanly perspective and ethical way, we can also say that it is a discrimination against LGBTQ, if we are to say from ethical and from the worldly perspective. But no matter what, the world keeps changing, the societies keep changing, the culture will develop, culture changes. But one thing, the Bible is very clear that the Word and God does not change. So, how we should tackle regarding this LGBTQ, which is very trending here in Nagaland. I think we should, as a Christian state, we should take up the first example and address it, that it is sin, and that it should not have this kind of meeting or have this kind of program held here in the very state, so that it brings confusions among the society. When you look at decades from now, do we see any kind of this LGBTQ in our society before? I don't think we have never heard, and to our older generations, they have never heard, they have never seen this kind of LGBTQ practices in our society. But now, as in a globalization state, and everything is in our hand, and education and everything is in our hand, and people are transforming through their education and by the expert of medical, they are transforming themselves into another person. And if you see in our society, decades from before, we have never heard this kind of LGBTQ as such. But now it has been very trendy, and also we can also see in our society some are already there, transgender, transforming themselves into another sex. And that is what we can see in our society. And in this situation, what we should address, first of all, I would like to bring is a religious leader. Sometimes we are too inclusive, and sometimes we are too lenient, and we often try to quote the Bible, especially in Ephesians, where Paul says there is neither Greek, there is neither Jews. Sometimes we try to quote Bible in order for our benefit. Does that neither Jew, neither Greek does not mean neither gender, neither male, neither female, no bisexualities. It has not been addressed. But it has been one of the core understandings that the Bible itself addressed that we should not discriminate. Neither Jew, neither Greek. In that perspective, they brought up neither LGBTQ, neither heterosexuality, nor homosexuality. But the Bible sometimes is very specific to some certain things, and sometimes it also speaks in general. And we have to study, and we have to interpret according to the biblical understanding in an understanding way. And our religious leaders, sometimes we are so lenient that we are not trying to confront them. We try to miscarriage, and we forgot about the doctrine, which is a sound doctrine, which talks about reproof, rebuke, and corrections. And in this matter, it is a high time in our society that we should apply this reproof, rebuke, and also corrections in order to make our society straight and to live a holy and acceptable in the sight of God.
So guys, I hope you all have learned something regarding that LGBTQIA+ through biblical. Any ideas or something to say, then you can please comment down on our comment section. Take care everyone, spread awareness, spread love, and see you all in next video.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.